Female dart players threatened with disciplinary action for refusing to play transgender rivals. I'm not going to read a lot of this article because it says it came from Yahoo, and this was on Yahoo. This was sent to me by Mark Fernkopf, the same guy who sent this. But Yahoo is just reposting something from the Telegraph, which, if you are familiar with the Telegraph, it's a very right-wing, anti-trans propaganda rag. So I'm not going to this comes off very much in the anti-trans camp of things, but so first off, it's fucking darts. Like, if there is a sport that you can say that, like, yeah, I get it. There are some sports where you can say, like, men on average have like more muscle mass or whatever the fuck. So, like, in weightlifting, maybe it should be gender segregated, or at least done by weight class or something. But, like, this is fucking darts. There is no skill involved in playing darts that is in any way enhanced by whether or not you have a penis, or what your testosterone levels, or what, like, you don't take steroids to get good at darts.
Yeah, at most you might take a stimulant. You might take some caffeine.
Yeah,
that's about the most I could think.
Yeah, no, like, darts is not. And so if you go back into the history of sports, even with the stuff where men supposedly have an advantage, the reason that these sports are segregated are because when the league started becoming professional and it started becoming a thing that you could do as a job, women started beating the shit out of men. And so men were like, nope, can't have that. So they split them off into separate groups because the women were a threat to the men, and the men couldn't be seen as losing to women. So, like, the whole reason that segregated sports exist is because of fragile masculinity.
We didn't like losing to girls.
Exactly. That's it. So, like, I am very, like, I don't care about sports, so I haven't really looked into it all that much, but I am very skeptical of the claim that the advantage that men have over women in sports is actually meaningful, given that the reason sports are segregated is because the women kept beating the men.
Look, okay, we don't like it when we get beat by women.
Okay,
what we like.
Okay, sirs, I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the clip episode of this where nobody knows why you're wearing a Sonic onesie, and you're sitting there talking about masculinity in your Sonic onesie.
Don't you understand, brother?
Oh, that one just went live. It's doing fairly well on my channel, and I'm kind of upset at the fact that our talking about the Hulk having a pussy is one of my better performing videos.
The fan. Did you ever see the fan art?
I did. I showed it on the stream. Remember?
You sent
it
I
to
just
me.
had to get to the. I just had to
Is
get to
there
the
new
fan
ones?
art. There's not new ones. It's still the one that Smacko did. I just got to that fan art in the episodes that I was making, so I had to re-explain for the video for context the handlebar.
Fuck me in the pussy,
They
brother.
call it a handlebar mustache, brother. Grab on.
Anyway, back to the darts. Apparently, some of these women have been, like, refusing to play against transgender women. And now the Dart League is coming out being like, hey, if you forfeit the match, you're just not going to be allowed to participate anymore. And like, that's what they've been doing. They've been just forfeiting the match rather than play against a trans woman. So Hedman, a 3-time WDF World Championship finalist, told the Telegraph Sport, when the statement went out, that was the one saying that they'd be subject to disciplinary action, I felt it was aimed at me. Like, probably because you were the main one that was refusing to compete with trans women.
If you're acting like a bigot and you see the anti-bigot shit,
oh, but sir,
and you're wondering if it was aimed at you, maybe.
But I love the way she says, explaining she had pulled out of May's match against Van Leuven over the effect of being forced to play a trans woman had on her mental health. She added, it's been affecting me for a very, very long time. And when it did happen, I just broke down. I was a mess, an absolute mess. It was so bad for her mental health, playing darts against someone who has a penis. Maybe has a penis. Might be post-op. We don't know. And who fucking cares? Well, this person fucking cares, apparently.
Or also might be intersex. Like
No, it's actually trans. No, it is an actual trans person. I mean, maybe like sure, intersex people can be trans, but like this isn't like the boxer situation where we don't know. Like, no, we know this person is trans, but like, who the fuck cares? Like, even if we grant that men might have an advantage in other sports, this is fucking darts. Like, whether or not the person you're playing against has a penis or had a penis that was removed surgically, it doesn't matter. How is that going to affect your mental health? Why would that fucking matter? Why?
Don't you understand?
Why would that fucking matter, Suris?
Don't you understand? Having a penis means the woman has better aim because everybody knows.
Women have better dexterity if we're going to go with the stereotypical shit. So she has an advantage over the biological male.
Can do with our dicks is aim, except for all the times we fucking can't.
Hey, I got 5 kids, Suris. I can aim.
No, you don't understand.
Yeah,
Sperm's on autopilot.
only 3 of them came from me aiming.
Sperm's on autopilot.
But I'm better at aiming than your ex because I have 3 and you only have 2.
Look, all of the sperm, they get in, they have the collective conversation, which one of us is going to reach the womb, and then one of them has to raise their hand and go, I think we're in a butthole.
I see the uvula.
I think we're in a throat right now. There's a world in which we might make it there, but I don't think any of us survives.
Yeah, so then she went on to say they haven't shown any regard for the mental health of anyone female born at all. It's all about the mental health of the transgender women. Probably because
how is your mental health affected by playing darts?
Probably because it's more damaging to someone's mental health to have someone make such a big stink over their genitalia than it is about you having to play darts against someone who maybe they have a penis.
Somebody's just sitting there. You played darts with me and you've got a wiener. Probably. That makes me angry.
So is this person saying that I could beat her at darts because I have a penis? Because I guarantee you she can beat me at darts.
Nope. No, you don't understand. You have a wiener. You have a biological advantage.
I have a biological advantage. I'm better at darts because I have a penis. Even though she's a professional dart player and I haven't played darts in fucking years, so I'd probably just miss the board completely.
You use the penis to aim. You don't understand. We take the dart. Don't ask why
the penis is a counterweight, so the PP stabilizes the dart paper like the circus dart is that balance on ropes with those long sticks. The penis is the counterweight. Is the test. So okay. Do you know the game Polybridge 3?
No.
It's just like it's a little like it's a game where you build bridges and then a car drives over it, and if you built the bridge right, the bridge doesn't collapse or whatever. And like there are levels with the hydraulics where you build like drawbridges and shit. And there was one level where I legitimately accidentally made my bridge into a penis.
Accidentally,
because it was a drawbridge and it started in the up position. And you have to truss it up, but when I trussed up just on one side, it still broke. So I trussed it up on both sides, on the top and the bottom side, and that's what worked. But I had to like put extra supports on the bottom, and it ended up being like these like circular kind of shapes, and those ones needed to be out of steel. So I literally had to make steel balls and a shaft of wood, and that's what got me past the level. And it was entirely accidental. I did the bridge and it worked, and then I looked at it and was like, oh, that's a dick.
I don't think you understand how darts works at all. I don't.
Is darts not like building a bridge that looks like a dick?
No. You don't know how to use the penis right. There's 2 techniques, okay?
I can use the penis as a dart, okay, Suris?
If you are flaccid, you treat it like a rubber band, and you strap the dart to it, you pull it back, and you let it go. If you are hard, you treat it like a trebuchet.
Suris is telling me I need to, if my penis is hard, I need to use it as a trebuchet to launch things at you. So that's foreplay next time we're...
I have unironically watched you go red in the face. Actual scarlet red.
It's red from laughing, though, not from embarrassment. I don't get embarrassed, Suris.
That's good. That's good.
I was... Okay.
Thank you for the drink, Eric.
So I was actually a little bit annoyed. Like, not actually annoyed, but like a little bit like, oh, disappointed. Because like I made a video on my main channel where I mentioned that whole... like, oh, I'm straight-leaning pansexual, and this is how I found that out. And I told a little bit of that story or whatever. And the reaction from my audience was just like so nothing but like there's a few people that were like, oh, thanks for sharing that, or like, oh, yay, I found out that Rhino's not straight or whatever. But like most people just didn't comment about it. Like the main comments on that video were something completely unrelated to that, and I was a little bit disappointed because like it was one of those like, oh, this is technically my coming out to my main channel. So it's like I was nervous about it, and so like I'm like, on the one hand, I'm happy that there wasn't a negative reaction because that's what I was nervous about, but then it's like that there was just no reaction. It's like nobody knows. It's like, yeah, whatever.
You also didn't get the constant audience affirmation of like Vice Rhino is stunning and brave. Like you didn't get that.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, no.
Maybe a pat on the back. maybe a stroke of the prostate. You know, something. Whoa.
Why did my chat go to top chat? Okay. Because Jassa says, fucking sorry we're so accepting.
Yeah, Jassa, you should be more of a bigot.
Clueless Expert says, by the way, I was watching your LGBTQ plus playlist and noticed you end one of the older videos with special thanks as always to my patrons, who are the chemicals in the water that turned the frog that is my channel gay. If you'd like to alter my sexual orientation, ... which seems hilarious in hindsight. I'm sure I've said lots of stuff like that. Like,
especially if you're saying that to your patrons, that sounds a whole lot like you're saying $20 is $20.
Oh, I've made so many if you pay me money I will take my clothes off for you jokes in those things. But no, I actually rejected a story for this evening about David Tennant and the person that he called out when he received his award. Because like she responded to that, like she's still trying to do politics stuff, and she's like, I'm not afraid of Doctor Who. And it's like, you're going into politics in the UK and you're coming out as an enemy of Doctor Who. Not only Doctor Who, one of the most popular actors to ever play the character.
Yeah, it's not
like that's not a winning move. That is not a winning move. But it's also the actor who plays the character who I have said in videos in the past that I would go gay for David Tennant. And now re-examining those statements is like, no, I'd just suck his dick.
Yeah, there you go.
David Tennant, hit me up. I'm yours. Do with me as you please.
Free use, Rhino.
No, not free use. Those things. I don't understand who, like, the people, like, okay, I'm not to kink shame. If you're into this, it's fine. I just don't get it. The whole, like, we're just having a normal conversation, but two of us are having sex. Like, what? Like, I want the person having sex to be into the sex, not just, like, having a mundane conversation. That's a thing that happens to be going on.
I will say, actually, I did get an email about this because of our conversation on free use, and how neither of us really see the appeal.
Don't kink shame, kink ask why.
But there was one person who gave me an email pointing out that when done well and safely, free use to them feels like a very bit of deep bond and trust, because even when you're doing like menial activities, you're able to do stuff. It's also can be very affirming for people who their euphoria for their gender might be tied to sexual things. Like somebody feels more like the gender that they are when somebody is having sex with them and they are being treated that way due to trauma or whatever reason. Like there was a lot of stuff in that email about how for them specifically there was a lot of affirmation in free use. So I can understand it. I can get how it can be someone's thing. It isn't my thing, but I can get it.
Sure. And like I said, I'm not kink shaming. If that is a thing that you are into, then go for it. Like, there are many kinks that I don't understand why anyone would be into it. That doesn't mean that I have negative opinion of the people who are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sex is a very personal thing, and everybody has different opinions about it. And like, yeah, do what works for you, as long as everybody's a consenting adult.
Yeah, and that's completely understandable. For this particular member of my audience, for use was a goal for celebrating their transition, basically.
Yeah.
Just signaling like, hey, I feel more like this person who I am when I am being affirmed in sex.
Sure.
So having that happen, not just during sexy times, but when I'm doing regular things around the house, is more appealing. So I can
fucking go for it then. Like, yeah, absolutely. I just don't understand it from a personal level, from myself.
Yeah, and that's where I am as well. Like, for me, and this may be the demisexual part of my brain, where for me, sex is very much a personal thing. I've tried to do swinging once, like a long time ago, and I got very emotionally attached to the people who I did stuff with. And I realized, like, a while later, through the help of my partner I had at the time, like, that's kind of a sign that you're demisexual. The reason you were able to even feel attracted to those people in the first place was you had established that bond. You didn't have the ability to do that beforehand. You were fucked either way, metaphorically and figuratively. So for me as well, like, for me, sex needs to be that thing where you make it a thing. Either it is a very like quick and passionate thing, or it's a we set time aside and be romantic thing. Whatever thing it is, it needs to not be mixed with something else, basically, is how my brain interprets it. So
yeah.
It can't be for me.
And that's fair. See, for me, part of it is my kink is making my partner have a good time. Mm-hmm. The more she is enjoying it, the more I am enjoying it. And so the idea of like back to the free use thing, the idea that like it would just be during some menial task or whatever, and I don't know if this is how it actually works out when people are doing it as a kink, but like the way it shows up in like on Pornhub is that like nobody's really into the actual sex. It's just something is happening. Like, sex is just a thing that is happening during normal life stuff or whatever. It's like, that doesn't do it for me, because I need my partner to be like engaged and into it and enjoying themselves, and like because that's what does it for me.
Yeah, whether people might realize it or not, there is a part of watching porn that is vicarious.
Anyway, yeah, we're gonna go to tweets in a moment, but I have to pee first. So since I entertained the people while you were changing into your onesie, you can entertain them while I pee.
Everybody, you are now thinking of Vice Rhino peeing. You are now imagining what it is like as he misses the toilet and then wonders why the bathroom isn't as clean as it was 5 minutes before he went in. This is officially what your brain is focusing on now. You have nothing else to think about right now except for the fact that Rhino is currently peeing. That's it. That's your brain. That's what's on your mind right now. You're thinking of him taking off his pants, going to the bathroom, and as of right now, he just hit the lid. And he is upset with himself, but he's going to shove it to a part of his brain where he doesn't think about hitting the lid, so he can then wonder why it's a mess about 20 or 30 minutes later when he goes to brush his teeth at night. Yes, it's Vice Rhino playing darts. It's Vice Rhino playing darts. He's going to the bathroom to play darts, everybody. He's going to the bathroom to play darts. Dorito Dave says, I like the direction your channel is going right now. Steel Jewel says, I'm picturing him using toilet paper to clean up the mess. Nope, the ADHD isn't letting him do that. That's not what's happening right now. The ADHD has taken over completely, and Rhino is currently not trying to do that. What he is focusing on right now is the shame that he will compartmentalize for missing and hitting the lid. That's where he's at. Plow King says, excuse me while I whip this out. Raspberry says Suris voicing piss and hypnosis kink ASMR at Rhino's expense. Pernia says could be worse, could be Asmongold's bathroom. I hear that his hygiene is really bad. I hear his hygiene is like uniquely awful. Because I've been seeing all kinds of stuff on Twitter about like how he doesn't brush his teeth enough. Because he'll talk about water, right? And like absolutely despising the taste of water, which I used to have that problem too. But one of my friends pointed out that that's kind of a symptom that your mouth hygiene isn't good because it means that you're tasting just like the bacteria and shit in your mouth. So I don't know.
Shit in your
I
mouth?
hear
What?
that he's very unclean.
I came back in time for shit in your mouth.
Oh no, I did Rhino ASMR the entire time.
With shit in your mouth.
No, not with shit in my mouth. I was talking about the shit in your mouth.
Oh, okay. Well, when I came up from going pee, my partner was like dancing at the corn on the counter. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on anywhere in my house right now.
Did you hit the lid?
What? I don't know. I didn't hit the lid. Why would I hit the lid? Fennec says, thank you for coming back. The babysitter was weird. What are you doing to my audience, Suris?
I'm corrupting them one stream at a time.
I mean,
that's what I'm doing.
I don't see how you could corrupt them any worse than I do.
Well, I didn't say that it was a upgrade or a downgrade from where they are right now. We're okay with the corruption being a side grade.
Travis Edrington says, I'm horrible about brushing my teeth. Apparently that and habit forming is hard for those who are autistic. Autistic and ADHD. Habit is a weird, it has a weird relationship with ADHD and autism. In that,
habit is harder to form, but it is far more necessary.
Mm-hmm. But it's also it's also easier to break. Like, for instance, I used to bite my nails as a habit, and I thought it was habitual because it just seemed like a habitual thing. But as soon as I made the association between biting my nails and getting ingrown fingernails and how painful that was, I just stopped. And it wasn't hard for me because apparently it wasn't actually a habit. It was more of a sensory thing where like, oh, I have noticed that my nail is too long and that's annoying and there are no nail clippers handy, so I'm just going to take care of that with my teeth.
That feels like one step left of a stim. Like, not quite stimming.
No, I know that now, but at the time it was just like, wow, that was actually a really easy habit to break.
Yeah.
But anyway, on to the tweets. The first one's a banger. The first one's probably my favorite of the bunch.
I can't wait to talk about bangers.
We've been talking about banging this whole time.
It's unfortunate.
Where have you been?
Apparently,
no, this is the Trumpers are almost becoming self-aware. Almost, not quite. This is a bit of an old tweet, so like, forgive me if you've seen this already. But like, I've been collecting these tweets for 2 weeks now, and I actually had to like physically stop myself. Otherwise, this is going to be way too long. But
hey, just wanted to give a quick thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who help keep me afloat and help keep this channel going. YouTube and Twitch are wonderful platforms, but at the end of the day, stability is not one of their strong suits. If you want to support my channel, then obviously Patreon is one of the best ways of doing that. Link is in the description. But I do want to personally thank everybody who has contributed to the channel. Those people would be Red Joker, Purple Poundini, Jemshin, Britzkrieg, Jupe the Malignant, Michael, Ravalern, Mabbity Babbity, Astral Frontier, Autumn and Angel, Nixie Chan, Mark Anthony, Victorian Alchemist, I'm not saying the last part of that, and you know that, Arcton Arclacier, Kiratorian, Dren Hadamata, Jordan M, John L, Lord Bleck, Smiling Game Master, and Fireshard. And everyone else who supports my channel and lets me do what I do full time. This is a dream job of mine that I never believed that I would be able to take full time, and with your help, I've been able to do it. So thank you so very much for that. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you all are having a wonderful time. I will see you all in the next one, hopefully.